What's going on, everybody? It is Vinny here from the Elite Gaming Series, back again with a brand new Exo Zombies gameplay commentary for you all today. Now today, like I said in the video yesterday, I kind of feel like going for a kind of like a comparison between you know, like Sledgehammer Exo Zombies and then like Treyarch Nazi Zombies. So I've been writing down a couple topics for a couple days I kind of want to talk about, and we're going to jump into this right away. So first off, one of the big things I noticed in Exo Zombies that, you know, doesn't seem as big, but, you know, is big at the same time, is that there are no more boarding windows, which was kind of like threw me off at first. It was you know, windows were always the way I would get those little points now, and, you know, if I wanted to you know, go buy something out of a box and I was just short, I'd always board a window, and I was a little concerned at first when I found out that you can't board up the windows anymore, and even like if it did slow zombies down for a little bit, or, you know, if you got Carpenter, it slowed everything down for a little bit. But then I realized something that you know, Sledgehammer Zombies has that Treyarch Zombies does not have, and that is the credit machine. Credit machine, you can probably get about 200 points if you look at all the ones like all through the map every round. So, you know, you don't really have to build up boards for 10 points apiece. You can just look for a credit machine and get like 100 straight out of one. So, you know, that was just a very, you know, little thing, but kind of like a big thing at the same time that I wanted to address. The next thing is that just in general, they kind of have a different feel, if that makes sense. You know, Exo Zombies isn't as crazy as Nazi Zombies, for instance. It feels more refined and more concise, but a little more critical, like I said yesterday. You don't really have like the outlandish, you know, you're going on the moon, or you have wonder weapons and all this kind of stuff. At least not yet, from what we've seen. But you still have, like, you know, the gameplay, and it's all similar, and you don't have the big backstory or like the crazy scenery and things like that. You know, you're, you know, in the game, it's like present day over at Atlas and all this kind of stuff and blah blah blah. You know, while like Nazi Zombies, like, you've been jumping around different time periods and different sceneries and different places. You've been to temples, you've been to the moon, you've been to all these different places. But, you know, right here we're just at Atlas dealing with a legitimate zombie outbreak. We, you know, we're like, we know what's behind it. You know, it's Atlas who like saw like the whole thing at, you know, on Riot back during Spec Ops mode, and they decided to keep one, and it broke out, and that's kind of like just the story. It happened, and that's what it is. There's not real anything crazy behind it. If that makes any sense, it's not that demonic. The third thing I want to talk about is that I feel like Exo Zombies, in my opinion, is a lot more stressful. And again, this could just be because of how small the map is, or the different types of zombies, or even that it's just new. But I feel like Exo Zombies has always kind of just given me somewhat of an uneasy feel during times. Like, there'll be times when I'm playing where I can mimic my facial expressions as, like, you know, horrified because, you know, I was, you know, because I was close to, like, dying or things like that, or, like, I just escaped death and all this kind of stuff. And I genuinely get a little more scared every time, like, I make a close call, because it might have something to do with, like, they happen a little bit more often with Exo Zombies, just because, like, it's so much smaller and confined and different, and, you know, everybody's still learning what works and what doesn't work and things like that. But I've learned that Exo Zombies has been stressing me out, not in a bad way, just like how like a horror game would stress you out, if that makes any sense. The other big thing that I've realized in Exo Zombies, and this is actually somewhat of a big thing, is that you can buy every single perk in the game and have it all at once. That being said, we know there are only 5, you know, Exo upgrades, if you want to call them that. But you can still have all 5 at once. You're not limited to 4 anymore. And the interesting thing too is that when you go down, you keep, at least in single player, you keep them all except for Exo Revive, which gets you up, and then you have to buy it again up until like it expires. But in multiplayer too, I've noticed that when I go down, I don't lose all my perks immediately. Rather, they go over time. You know, it might be every couple seconds a perk disappears and all this kind of stuff. But if a teammate gets me up in time, you know, I won't lose everything that I have, which is nice, and, you know, not so good at the same time. It makes the game easier, but it's nice that you don't have to, you know, spend 12,000 points on getting all your perks again after you got down for like something stupid. You know, that's kind of what I like. So, you know, it's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, but nonetheless, it's something different in zombies in general. The next thing I want to go over is the big elephant in the room. You have an exosuit. You can jump and do all these crazy things, and, you know, you can jump over zombies, and it creates this whole new sort of idea for a train. You can exo slam on them, you know, if you don't have grenades or something like that, and it brings a whole different feel to the game. It's like Advanced Warfare at any other Call of Duty. It just plays differently. You know, it's not really a bad thing per se. It's not like a great thing. And it's probably a one-time thing up until Sledgehammer releases their next game, and we'll see if that even has exosuits and stuff like that. But it's kind of just like it just plays differently. You know, it's not to say that you can't really compare Exo Zombies to Treyarch Zombies, 'cause that's what I'm doing right now, and I believe that you can, and there are fundamental, you know, similarities and differences between the two games. But I will also say that, you know, the exosuit definitely throws a different swing into the mix, different gimmick into the game, you know, as it's done already, and as it has been doing, and as it will do for the rest of Advanced Warfare's life cycle. Yeah, so that's kind of what I have to say about that. The next thing I have to do, and this is a very small thing, it's just like the names. You know, you'll find me in my Exo Zombies videos and tips and stuff like that, that I'll be calling certain things, you know, how they're called in Nazi Zombies. So instead of like hyper damage, I'll call something an insta kill. Instead of the box, I'll call it like, or you know, instead of the 3D printer, I'll call it the mystery box. Or you know, things like that. Or like even you know, instead of Exo Health, you'd have Juggernog. If you played the other old Zombies games, and I'm just not used to the names yet. You know, I'm still trying to remember DNA bombs and nuke, and you know, all that different stuff. And I know we do every game. It's like even like some of the guns are interchangeable with one another over the years. But it's just something different, and something just trying to get used to, and all that kind of stuff. So that's a very little thing. I'm trying to get better at it, and you know what I'm talking about anyway. So it's not really a killer thing. Okay, this next one kind of bugs me a little bit, and it bugs a lot of people for it, you know, like Reddits and forums and things like that. Is that you cannot pause in single player anymore. You know, if you pause, the game will be running in the background just like it would if it was multiplayer on a Treyarch Zombies game. And that means that, you know, even if you hit the pause button to go to the bathroom, a zombie can still come up and down you and, you know, ruin your game, all because of biology, basically. I don't really support that. I know a lot of people are trying to get that reversed. I don't know if Sledgehammer would be the company that would go back on something like that. I know their thoughts on the whole thing was that they wanted to be kind of like Dark Souls, and like if Dark Souls could do it, then, you know, Call of Duty Exo Zombies can do it too. And that's somewhat understandable, but you gotta realize things happen. There have been times in the past where I've recorded gameplays and I've cutted it up in post because something happens and I have to go take care of it. But, you know, now when you play an Exo Zombies game, you have to be playing it for 3 hours straight, or, you know, result to going into a glitch and, you know, forfeiting, you know, legitimately playing the game and pausing it and things like that. So that's kind of the one other thing that kind of bugs me. The second thing that bugs me is that crawlers die really quick. You know, obviously crawlers would die eventually sometime in, you know, Treyarch Zombies, but that wouldn't be for like a solid like 10 or 15 minutes. You know, these crawlers will die after like, you know, 5 or 6 minutes you make them. You know, it's ridiculous because, you know, you're running around the map to get all the perks and maybe look for new credits or trying to get a care package, and then the crawler just splits and dies and you're into a new round and you're caught off guard, and it really kind of screws you up. You know, again, I probably wouldn't be complaining about this if this is what we had all along from Treyarch, but it's kind of nice having Treyarch to, you know, give us a break and give us a breather and, you know, not really rushing us to play the game, if that makes any sense. I guess this kind of goes into the whole why I think Exo Zombies is more critical than Treyarch Zombies kind of argument, but that's what I got for you guys on that. And then finally, for my last one, both Exo Zombies have Easter eggs, which is phenomenal. They both have music Easter eggs and they both have story Easter eggs. Granted, we don't know as much about the story about Atlas, and as of right now, it's definitely not as crazy as, you know, our original 4 cast members that, you know, we've come up to grow and love in Treyarch. The story's not nearly as crazy as I said before, and you know, it's an interesting Easter egg. I'm waiting to see what they're gonna do with it and where they're gonna advance with the story. I think it has the potential to be really cool, and I think it'd be even cooler if there was like a crossover. You know, maybe something Exo Zombies dictates how, you know, Treyarch Zombies is gonna start in the next game, but you know, who knows? It could be anything, and you know, that's just one little similarity they have, I guess, but they're different at the same time. You know, the Easter eggs are fundamentally different, but the music Easter eggs, you know, what do? You hit a couple things, start playing for you. So That's not a bad thing at all. But yeah, you know, I know this is about a 10-minute video. I just want to compare and contrast things about Exo Zombies and Treyarch Zombies for you guys. Kind of give you a little background, if that makes sense, or a little something to think about, you know, when you're playing Exo Zombies and how it plays, and you know, maybe you can take a couple things from this and realize how it plays differently, and maybe even how it plays similarly to its counterpart used by Treyarch. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's kind of a long one, but I enjoyed making it. If you think I deserve it, please leave a like rating down below. I never tell you guys not to. I think it's fun, and it helps me, and it motivates me, and it makes me feel good inside when I see that someone liked my video. If you're brand new to the channel, please remember to subscribe. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, I post up Call of Duty Zombies or multiplayer all the time. It's what I like to do, and you know, I'd appreciate it if you want to come on this trip with me. And yeah, that's kind of what I got for you guys today as far as Exo Zombies is concerned. So I appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time, I've been Vinny from the Elite Gaming Series. Peace.